If we were gonna make our first movie and maybe the only movie we would ever make, we wanted to do something surprising and pretty bold and go for it.
One version of this movie could be a very serious drama or violent thriller if you don't undercut it with existential dick jokes.
There was no holding back at any moment of the script. It was all just like, let's just do it. Every scene was something that I was excited about shooting.
I had never read anything like it. I thought it was really singular and special, and it made me laugh, but it also really moved me. Are they real?
It's a movie that has a lot on its mind, but is also really light on its feet. And I was so attracted to that immediately.
I don't know what it is. It could be life, it could be death. It might be a dream, I might be imagining you, you might be imagining me. It could be purgatory or a glitch in the simulation that we're both in. I don't know.
The scene in the car before she crashes is such an integral moment in the movie. It was our first opportunity to set up the rules.
So we can't die.
No, the loop just starts over. There might be some way to kill yourself, but I haven't figured it out, and I've done a lot of suicides. So many.
There's a lot of debate about how long Nyles and Sarah have been stuck there at any given time. With Nyles, it almost doesn't matter. At a certain point, he gave up and has been drifting for, if it was 50 years of doing nothing and the same thing every day, of just floating and drinking beer, or if it was 1,000, nothing internally and emotionally and spiritually has changed for him. He's just broken and drifting.
The only way to really live in this is to embrace the fact that nothing matters.
Well, then what's the point of living?
Well, we kind of have no choice but to live. So I think your best bet is just to learn how to suffer existence.
The time loop is a very fun thing to play with as a filmmaker because, you could look at this movie as a series of vignettes and short films almost that assume different styles and whatnot. But for us, it was really about sticking two people together and getting past the metaphysics or the logic of a time loop and just, getting out into the desert and really exploring these characters. It was licensed to suspend disbelief. They had nowhere to go because they're stuck with each other for eternity and really just dig deep into the messiness of these people.
I wanted to make sure that if you were to go back and watch the movie knowing what you know about Sarah, that you would be able to see in certain scenes why she's reacting the way she is because of what she doesn't want to repeat. And the car crash scene is a very good example of this.
No, I'm gonna get out of this.
Suit yourself.
What are you doing?
Bracing for a quick death. I mean, we can't die, but pain is very real. There's nothing worse than slowly dying in the ICU.
There was something sort of inherently funny baked into the character of Nyles where he was sort of the audience being like, yeah, let's get to the part where we have fun and hang out. It made for a really great dynamic, I thought, between the two characters where she's like very understandably flipping out and he's kind of bored.
We could just skip this whole phase. Go get a beer, Or not, whatever. See you tomorrow.
Now you have Nyles, who has been on this journey with Sarah, and now Sarah's gone. And that shouldn't matter at all to him, but it does. Therefore, he goes out to Irvine to feel something. He wants to suffer in this existence with somebody. And if that has to be the guy that's been torturing him for the past however many years, so be it.
Turning myself in! Torture me, I don't care!
Motherfucker.
You're right, it's dark down here.
The fuck are you doing here?
That scene in the backyard of Irvine, you can understand what movie you're in when you watch that. It has everything I love, from some comedy, some heartfelt emotion, two great performances, and just a wacky moment out of left field.
You cannot be here.
Who was that man?
Fuck.
Oh.
Hey, hon, this is Nyles. Nyles, he's an old friend. Tuna will be ready soon, and we'll be out back.
When Nyles shows up, Roy's already now surpassed Nyles on that personal journey. Roy has found the beauty in the mundane. He's found the beauty in this routine of his life, which Nyles is failing to accept in himself.
So this is your life?
Not bad, huh? Beautiful wife, beautiful kids. Little Joey is watering dog shit. It's weird, but it's beautiful.
What happened to marriage being a bottomless pit of sorrow?
Things change, you know? Priorities change. Okay, so what are you doing here? Let's get on with it. You're freaking my wife out.
I don't know. Hadn't seen you in a while.
Yeah, no shit. I ended up in the hospital last time I saw you. Nurses wouldn't let me sleep. They were afraid I'd go into a coma.
Nothing worse than dying slowly in the ICU.
I had a lot of anger towards you, man. I mean, I'm not gonna see my kids grow up. Never gonna walk little Livy down the aisle. I guess I had my head up my own ass. I mean, I didn't really comprehend what I was putting you through. A little stint in the hospital really opened my eyes, though.
One of the things that I think everyone who worked on it was drawn to was the comedy goes real big and real hard, but it also doesn't shy away from some of the more philosophical and emotional conversations and moments. You know, one of the biggest and certainly one of my personal favorites is this scene between Nyles and Roy, where Roy sort of talks about, you know, coming to peace with his situation, and it obviously all works as a metaphor for what we're all going through and, you know, what to do with the time that we're given in this life. And at a certain point, you got to stop swimming upstream and just appreciate what you have and really relish it. And no one could have pulled it off quite like JK.
You gotta find your Irvine.
I don't have an Irvine.
We all have an Irvine. Hey, who was that loony bitch who blindsided me with the cop car anyway?
Don't call her that.
You took her to the cave, didn't you? Did you learn nothing from all this?
She followed me in.
Well, at least you have each other. Nothing worse than going through this shit alone.
My favorite performance in the movie is that moment where Roy essentially breaks up with Nyles.
I think it's best if we don't see each other anymore.
And we hold on him, and you see every single point on the emotional spectrum just wash over Andy's face, from frustration to despair to disbelief. And then he goes and shoots him, you know, in the trash can.
Would you kill me one more time? Just, you know, beat the traffic.
Side yard. I hope you find it, man.
Yeah.
One thing I really felt like we had going for us on Palm Springs was we all saw what they were going for, what Andy and Max were going for from day one.
Yeah.
And it's a very specific tone. And if it strayed from what they were going for or got pushed too far in any one direction, trying to be something it wasn't, the wheels were going to come off of it. And everyone really worked their asses off to keep it tonally what it wanted to be. And I think because of that, it ended up being something really unique.
The making of this movie was very intense in terms of like time. We were only ever given like 2 takes, because 2 takes is like an enormous amount of pressure. And like, we did it.
In a weird way, it has become, you know, the movie of the pandemic, which I will always have great affection for as I, cringe at what we're all going through.
Palm Springs is the movie that we were after the entire time.